Your room? Oh, this is perfect for you. A cramped storage room. Just what a poor person deserves. Sister-in-law and my husband laughed mockingly as they showed me the room. I was at a loss for words. I had trusted sister-in-law and decided to renovate this precious home. How did it come to this? If only I had been more cautious. If only I had doubted sister-in-law more. Regret was pointless. The damage was done. But this isn't my fault. It's all on sister-in-law who deceived me. I don't need to live with sister-in-law and my husband like this. I decided to take matters into my own hands. My name is Sissy, a housewife in my 40s. I live with my husband and sister-in-law. Originally, my husband and I lived with my in-laws. But a few years ago, sister-in-law who had divorced moved in, saying she was lonely living alone. Eventually, my parents-in-law's health deteriorated, and I couldn't manage their care alone. So we had to send my parents-in-law to a nursing home, leaving me, my husband, and my sister-in-law to live together. When my parents-in-law moved to the nursing home, I had a big fight with sister-in-law. This house is mine, inherited from my father to live with my parents-in-law. Now that my parents-in-law are gone, I wanted sister-in-law to leave. But my husband and sister-in-law strongly opposed.
You can't kick her out now. We've lived together for so long.
They argued and I couldn't refute them. So I had no choice but to continue living with sister-in-law.
Why did I want to kick her out?
Because she's been unemployed since her marriage. She doesn't even work part-time, just lives off money from my parents-in-law. I've never seen her contribute to household expenses. I can't keep supporting her. That's why I wanted her to leave and become independent. But my husband didn't take kindly to me wanting to kick out a sister. Our relationship worsened after that incident. I blame it all on sister-in-law. If she were a decent person, things would be different. Still, we've managed to live together. But sister-in-law doesn't help with anything. She doesn't contribute money, so the least she could do is help with chores. But she just lounges on the sofa all day. Sister-in-law, please do some work. You can't just lounge around forever. When I say this, she yells. Don't criticize what I do. How dare you, being just a wife? She hates it when I oppose her, even though she does nothing all day. If you don't like it, why don't you leave? Why should I? You should leave. This is my house. I'm not going anywhere. If anyone should leave, it's you, sister-in-law. And so, our relationship worsens with each argument. My husband always sides with my sister-in-law. Whenever sister-in-law tattles on me, he says,
What's your problem with my sister? Just because you own the house doesn't mean you can act all high and mighty.
Living sandwiched between my sister-in-law and my husband is unbearable. I've been racking my brain to find a way to kick sister-in-law out, but I can't come up with a good plan. What if I grow old and still can't mend my relationship with sister-in-law? What if I have to keep putting up with her unemployment? The thought keeps me up at night. My husband sides with sister-in-law, so I have no one to confide in, and my mental health is deteriorating. I thought about consulting my parents-in-law, but ever since hearing they were enjoying their retirement, I hesitated to burden them with my problems. One evening at dinner, sister-in-law said, I have something to discuss. I braced myself for bad news, but sister-in-law suggested renovating the house. The house, inherited from my father, was showing its age and had some issues. I had been meaning to fix it, but hadn't found the time. When I told sister-in-law, she said, leave it to me, and offered to find contractors. Sister-in-law had never shown initiative before, but knowing she was thinking about the house changed my perspective. Maybe this was an opportunity for her to reconsider her actions. So I entrusted the renovation to sister-in-law. At first, I kept an eye on her, but things started to look suspicious. She found contractors that were suspiciously cheap or known for shoddy work. When I questioned her commitment, she fake cried and complained to my husband. He misunderstood and scolded me, saying,
"How could you treat my sister like that when she's trying to help?"
From then on, anytime I confronted sister-in-law, she threatened to tell my husband. He started to view me negatively and would scold me without even listening. I thought about canceling the renovation, but was met with strong opposition from both sister-in-law and my husband. Your precious home may be in serious trouble if things continue like this. I continued to work hard, even as new worries piled up. I was already stretched thin and started to feel the physical toll. I even used the time I didn't have to spare to look for a contractor. Eventually, I lost the energy to confront sister-in-law. When she suggested sketchy contractors, I'd say, "If you think it's fine, then it's fine." Sister-in-law seemed pleased and took over the entire renovation process. After spending a few days in a business hotel, I received a message from sister-in-law saying the renovation was complete. The house looked surprisingly good and fit well into the neighborhood. Maybe I had been worrying for nothing. Maybe I had misunderstood sister-in-law. Maybe I had misunderstood too much about sister-in-law. In reality, she's a nice person if you talk to her properly. So maybe we've just kept running into each other. I decided to mend our relationship. Let's try to make progress little by little. And walk down the new hallway. Sister-in-law, where's my room? I was tired from the hotel stay and wanted to rest. Sister-in-law stopped in front of a storage room. Your room? Ah, this is perfect for you. A cramped storage room. Just what a poor person deserves. Saying that, sister-in-law opens the door. She opened the door to reveal a small, dim room. I saw my husband laughing out of the corner of my eye. He must have known this would happen. You think I'd let a wife like you have a decent room? You're such an idiot. Sister-in-law laughed. My husband joined in. I was at a loss for words. Why did I ever agree to the renovation? If I had been more cautious, if I had doubted sister-in-law more, this wouldn't have happened. I regretted letting them have their way with the house my father gave me, and resentment towards sister-in-law and my husband surged within me. I felt foolish for thinking we could reconcile. Sister-in-law and my husband were hopeless. Fine, I'll leave then, I said and turned around. My sister-in-law and her husband tried to stop me, looking panicked by my unexpected move.
Hey, you're just gonna walk out on your home like that? This is your family home, isn't it?
Yeah, if you leave, this house will be ours, fair and square.
What are you talking about? If I leave, I'm selling the house.
Hearing this, both of them gasped in disbelief. Unbelievable. They didn't even understand something so basic. This house was bought by my father and passed down to me. I'm the legal owner. It's my call whether to sell the house or not. I have no reason to own a house I'm not living in, so selling it is the obvious choice. You can't just do whatever you want. What about our lives? My sister-in-law retorts, her face turning red. Neither she nor my husband have any say in my decision. I don't need your permission. It's late now, so I'll contact a real estate agent tomorrow. I head for the door again. They shout, "Wait!" but I ignore them. Later, I move to a weekly apartment and start planning my next steps. My phone keeps ringing from my sister-in-law and her husband, so I block their calls. Idiots who don't even understand their own situation. How did they think they could live in that house? Did they imagine my parents-in-law bought it for them? My parents-in-laws aren't wealthy. Even if they passed away, they'd leave only a small inheritance. Despite this, my foolish sister-in-law and husband seem to be under some delusion. This is a good opportunity to set them straight. I'll teach them who's making their lifestyle possible. Determined, I move on to my next steps. The next day, I go to a real estate agency to get the house appraised. But they're fully booked, so it'll be a while before anything happens. I decide to go back home to update my sister-in-law and husband. When I get there, the house is a mess. Trash is scattered everywhere, from the entrance to the hallway. Among the trash are clothes and daily necessities. The living room door won't even open, because it's blocked by a mountain of garbage. Just yesterday, the renovation was completed, and now it's a mess. I force open the door and step into the trash-filled living room. I see my sister-in-law slumped on the sofa. Sister-in-law, what are you doing? She jumps at the sound of my voice. When she realizes it's me, she clings to me as if I'm her savior. I'm really sorry about yesterday. We didn't appreciate all you've done and said terrible things, but we didn't mean it. We were just jealous because you're so perfect. We always appreciated you and believed you'd come back. Let's work together from now on. Her words are too convenient to be true. I can only look at her with disdain. We can't do anything without you. Look how dirty the house got in just one night, she says, looking around disgustedly. When we lived together, I did all the housework. Neither of them ever helped, especially with cleaning. If I didn't clean, they'd just leave the rooms messy. But I had never felt this disgusted before. If two people are this good at trashing a house, it's no wonder I felt so drained from housework. I sigh at my sister-in-law's attitude and their inability to clean, and she timidly says, "Sissy?" Ignoring her, I say, "We'll talk when my brother gets home," and start cleaning the house for the last time. A few hours later, my husband returns from work. By then, the house is mostly clean, and both of them applaud, saying, "Impressive." I can only shake my head at their incompetence, but at least there's a place to sit now. I motion for them to sit. Then I slam a paper on the table. Their faces turn pale when they see it's a divorce application.
Wait, Sissy, this is a joke, right? You're not planning to abandon us?
Yeah, how will we survive without you? Both my sister-in-law and husband cling to me. Ridiculous, after treating me so poorly just yesterday. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to maintain a house or do chores for people like you.
Don't say that. We've been getting back together, haven't we?
We managed until now, but I've reached my limit. I'm done with both of you. Let's end this. I urge them to sign, but my husband refuses. My sister-in-law also tries her best to stop him, saying, "Don't sign it." If you don't agree, I'm considering taking this to court. Is that okay? Finally reaching their limit, my sister-in-law starts apologizing profusely. I'm really sorry. I apologize for how we've acted. Please don't divorce us or take us to court. Don't abandon us. She pleads, tears streaming down her face. My husband also starts apologizing deeply. But my decision was unshakable. After that, we continued divorce negotiations through lawyers. Eventually, they gave in and we divorced. Because of their treatment of me, it was a fault-based divorce, and I received compensation. I successfully sold the house and they were left homeless, wandering the streets. My ex-husband even quit his job due to the scandal and the shock of losing the house. Now, he and my former sister-in-law are scraping by, living in an old apartment and working part-time. My former parents-in-law finally learned about their actions and cut ties with them. They're struggling on their own now. As for me, I was able to sell the house for a higher price than expected and use the money to rent a decent apartment. Now I'm enjoying a comfortable life, working from home. Living alone after so many years was initially challenging, but it became incredibly comfortable to my own surprise. After spending so long serving others, I want to live kindly for myself from now on.